Okay, good evening. We call this meeting to order. First item of business is accentuate the positive.
Good evening. Kayla Ross, proud principal of the Pirate Ship. Thanks for being here tonight. We would love to host you in our beautiful a quick accentuate the positives for us. It is Smarter Balance testing season. And so I just want to shout out to our junior students and our teachers of juniors in science, English, and math who are working hard to make sure students are giving their best effort and doing a great job because testing is hard and it takes a lot out of you. So just really proud of them. Also want to shout out to our classified staff. It is Classified Staff Appreciation Week. Board, thank you so much for swinging by and dropping off some awesome gifts. Our leadership team also showered our classified staff with some gifts this week and a few thank you notes from admin. We're just thankful to have them just making sure our work is solid and we couldn't do what we do without them. Pirate Boys basketball gave a great effort this past weekend trying to get to the championships. We're really proud of how hard they worked and just want to shout out to them and their coaching staff. And to Dave for making sure we got a rooter bus and some cheerleaders up there with them as well. We had a successful theater production this weekend with great turnout. That show was student produced and student directed. And so we just want to shout out to the students who gave it their all and really a fantastic show. We also had CTE night a few weeks ago, and we had a great turnout. It's always great when we can show off our great CTE programs and our wonderful facilities. We had a lot of current program students just really eager to show off their work and what great opportunities they have. So we're really proud of that. Special shout out to Tammy Ingerson for making that magic happen. And last but certainly not least, tonight we kicked off our unified sports season with a game at Crater at 4, and it went great. So that's all from the Pirate Ship.
We'll go backwards tonight. My name is Catherine Holden. I'm the principal of Talent Middle School. It's great to see everybody tonight. Our highlights briefly are we had the Swift Equity Team revisit Talent Middle School this week. It was really great to sit again in good discussion based on the narrative report that they provided us from our different stakeholder groups that we collected in September and really kind of dig into some of that data. So that was a productive time with a small group of staff. Also, our spring track and field season began last week, and we have over 100 Talent Middle School athletes who are participating. And we want to give a big thank you to our coaches, Brittany Potts, Amber Jacobson, Romy Polito, and Cindy Rutherford, and our athletic director, Derek Rodman, as well as his assistant, Jessica Morga, for all their work to get another exciting athletic season started. So thank you for that. And also, we do want to highlight Classified Appreciation Week. We've had some great celebrations every day. Different grade level teams took on days. So every day there's been something in the staff room for our classified staff to enjoy. And our community leadership kids as well have made a lot of very nice gifts. And lastly, I just want to appreciate the whole staff. I was out of work unexpectedly to support my family for about 3 weeks. And I was so impressed with how the Talent Middle School community came together and supported each other and took care of business and kept the focus on the students while I was out. So thank you everybody for your hard work.
Good evening, board. Aaron Santi, Phoenix Talent Rising Academy. Just a couple things for you guys. I know many of you guys were at our iReady Math night, Tuesday night. Just wanted to thank our staff for putting together our estimation station with jars full of candy. They were a big hit at the night. We had long lines of people that were trying to make their guesses. We had students that were trying to figure things out in a kind of complicated math way. And some of it worked, some of it didn't. But we ended up with 2 winners who had identical guesses on one of the jars, which was really cool. And they happened to be siblings. So I don't know who copied who, but they got to take that jar home. And then also just following up on Kaylin's point about school testing or Smarter Balance testing, I want to thank our school testing coordinators. They've been busy here in the last couple of weeks conducting our ODE required trainings in advance of our state testing that's going to happen next month. Well, this month at the high school, but next month everywhere else. There's a lot of modules. It takes a lot of time and effort. So I appreciate their work to keep the testing requirements on track.
Good evening, everybody. It's good to see you. My name is Shauna Schleif, principal at Phoenix Elementary School. I'll just keep the theme going. Classified Appreciation Week is always a wonderful time to just really celebrate the people that really do a lot of work to keep our schools running. That's our office staff, our instructional assistants, our custodial staff, and then our behavior support people. We couldn't do this work without them, and so it's been a really fun week of celebrating them. Speaking of that, we had 9 teachers absent today because we had 3 different professional development things going on. So I just wanted to give an appreciation for the fact that we have subs, really great subs. We had great lessons that were left for these students. We had a huge amount of people who just stepped in and helped support each other. And on a day like that, it could be kind of a little crazy, and it wasn't. It was a really pleasant day at PES because of the teamwork there. So I just want to thank our entire team, those who were there and those who weren't, because they left great plans. So teamwork makes the dream work. And on that, yesterday I was at our leadership team meetings, and I was just really like visiting each team with a lot of pride, really, because we're doing some amazing things, and these teachers are the staff is really coming together and doing a lot of great work in these distributed leadership teams. And so I'm just really excited to continue to share what we have going on with all of those 4 teams. And I know all of our schools are doing that. It's just really paying off. So just wanted to give a shout out to that.
Thanks, Shauna. Heather Lowe, principal over at Talent Elementary. Good evening, everybody. I will continue the trend because I would be remiss if I didn't comment on, our classified staff. I would echo all of what these colleagues have said, but also just that, it's true that classified are really the cornerstone and backbone of making stuff happen. They take a load off the shoulders of classroom teachers and just really support the work that we do in miraculous ways. I call them saintly in many days. So just want to share my love for them. Also echo a little bit about what Erin said about math night. It was just super fun, and I appreciate you guys for coming out, and thank Charlene Patton and then specifically Corinne Calhoun from our building. She's our instructional coach who helped get all of our games organized. So thank you to Charlene and Corinne. Also, if you're feeling a little bit dancey tomorrow night, Talent's hosting a neon disco dance from 5 to 7. So if you want to pop on over and bust out some moves, supposedly I'll be teaching some moves. I don't know about that, but it'll be hosted by our PTA, which is always actually quite a fun event for our kiddos and families. They get dressed up and come out and boogie, so it'll be fun. We have a real DJ too, so you won't have to suffer through my DJing. And then last but not least, I just want to publicly thank Mrs. Campbell here at Phoenix High School I came and attended as a parent the Disney night on Friday, and it was so super cute. And I heard just great feedback from our families who got to go, and they were like, well, that was really fun. And it's just such a neat opportunity to bring little kids into this really special space that they get to go to when they're older. So thanks to Mrs. Campbell and you, Mr. Campbell, for serving pizza. That's it.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Kent Valier. I'm principal at Orchard Hill Elementary. And our classified people are great, but let me share with you just what one thing I think makes a huge difference to kids every single day: how they're greeted when they get off the bus, with enthusiasm and a compliment. I learned something from Heather the other day. They play a little music, some fun music, and get kids like in a good-hearted mood, ready to have a great day. So anybody that is the first contact to students first thing in the morning is totally valuable, and I appreciate all their work. Some great news from Orchard Hill today. I don't know if you saw it. I know Mr. Campbell was there today. One of our great teachers in the district, Ashley Sims, won an award from, I think it's 103.5, a radio station. And Scuba Steve, who I've not personally heard, Scuba Steve, but Scuba Steve came to Orchard Hill today and awarded Ashley Sims with a Teacher of the Week award. She comes halfway frequently to school dressed up as various characters. The one that I love is 100-Day Grandma Sims, and curlers and a gray wig and some extra padding and the house coat, and it's great. And her kids eat that up, and they just love school. So I want to really recognize Ashley and all the work that she does. Sarah Ford is a 4th grade teacher, and she had quite a few parents and kids attend the math night that we had last week. So she won a pizza party from Tiffany's department. So thank you very much. And I also want to recognize our building secretary. Holly Reed is new to us. And when you're new, and you have to learn a lot of things and some complicated things. One of the most complicated is vaccination and waiver situations. We never want any kids excluded on that day. And Holly came in with help from Lori Delgado and Charlene Patton. She got on that bike and rode it fast. And we didn't have any exclusions this year because kids didn't have vaccinations. So I'm appreciative to those guys for their help and Holly for her hard work. Thank you. Joe? Done? Okay.
Hi, Amy here, food service. And as you might notice, for once in like probably months that you guys have seen me, I'm actually in, work attire and not just my jeans and Sodexo shirt for the kitchen. I'm proud to say that we actually have Cameron Bullock, who moved up from California, actually to work with us, and she's taken over Orchard Hill Elementary. She's through initial training and she's running really strong, and it's just been wonderful to have her and actually get back into the office and to, what I now look at as my night job, but apparently it is supposed to be my day job. So I can do that again. And I definitely have to thank John and his team. I know I, bring them up a lot, but you guys, I can't tell you, I can't even finish talking to John about like a new task or project. I'm like, hey, what about this? He comes and his team's got it already done for me. I'm like, geez, what are you guys doing? And I have to especially call out Randy Kirkland, Robert Blood, Richard Brown, and Skylar Elmore for all of their hard work in helping complete the kitchen upgrades and the walk-in coolers in Talon Elementary and Phoenix Elementary. If you guys haven't got to stop back there and see, I know it's storerooms, but it's really, really neat to see these, remodeled kitchens. They're still not done. John's got projects for them for spring break. They're going to paint. They're going to get us new flooring, service our dishwashers. It's just, his list doesn't stop. And the amount of work that they do for us, food service just couldn't operate without them. So I just have to call out. I mean, and it's classified staff and they're classified staff. So got to really call them out. Thank you. Oh, and I guess I should leave you with, even though I've said it over and over, don't start your spring break without stopping into Phoenix High School on March 21st for our Future Chef event. We're all set. We'll have a student board representative who actually used to participate in the competition be a judge with us. So we're really, really excited for that. And we're looking forward to that event.
Check. Thank you, Chris. Thank you all so much. Anything from the board for Accentuate the Positive? Yeah, go ahead.
I just want to give a huge shout out also just with all the accolades to Charlene Patton for organizing the district math night event. It was super fun to see the families. Lots through the TMS sign up. Really, really fun to see students in our district face to face. And then I just really wanted to say kudos also for handling 2 big prize winners at the end of the night. That could have really dissolved and everyone went away smiling. And so I just love that how challenges are handled in this district. And so kudos to that team. Thank you for thank you for putting it on.
Okay. Anything else? Yeah, go ahead.
I wasn't able to go to math night, but I did get to go to the FFA auction, and what a blast. And I always say this, but I can't say it enough. The community always supports our kids, and it is amazing to see and fun times. And who doesn't like kids raising animals? Well, I love kids raising animals. So it was amazing night. The kids did great, and the community again supported us. And thank you all for the staff that I know you put in some extra work to get that done. And it was amazing. It was great every time. So I wanted to thank everybody for that.
All right. Thank you so much. Okay, next is citizen comments. Thereafter citizen comments. Yep. No problem. Okay, do we have people in the audience who wish to speak before the board today? You just, okay. That's okay. That's okay. Okay. So I'll read my description here. So as a reminder, school board meetings are meetings of the school board held in public, not meetings with the public. As a general rule, the board will not engage in discussion with the public during this portion of the meeting. When your name is called, come forward and state your name. If joining virtually, please use the raise hand feature, address and identify the organization, if any, that you represent. Please keep your remarks brief and respect the 3-minute time limit. Complaints about staff members cannot be discussed in open session and must be handled through a complaint procedure. So who is speaking first today? You got it? Okay. Sarah will time for us. Do we have forms, or if we don't, it's fine. You can just step up and state your name and
And what do I do with it? Hi, I'm just here to give a plug to Safe School Zone Solutions, and for measures to upgrade the safety in our school to prevent school shooter dangers to the children. It includes upgrading the glazing on the windows, bulletproof doors at the entrances to the school and in the classroom to have it extra reinforced. In more than 10 years since Newtown, very little has been done. And we have fire shored up, we have flooding shored up for safety, but this has really gone unaddressed. And most of the programs that I've seen are really centered around after a shooter has breached the building, calling the police faster, identifying locations better. But prevention, I mean, we have these measures in banks for our money. I'm just really hoping that Phoenix Talent can start this. And I know that once a school comes on board and fortifies and makes it safe, the rest of the valley will follow. This is really what the public wants. The Second Amendment, guns are here to stay. Right now, gun rights are the law of the land. There's nothing we can do about it for this generation of school children, but we can keep them safe when they're in our schools. So that's it.
thank you so much. Could I just get your name for the record too, ma'am?
My name is Mariana Zamidi.
Thank you so much. Okay. Anyone else wish to speak for the board? Go ahead.
Hi, everybody. My name is Alex Soul. I'm the founder of the Safe Zone Solution, and it's a pleasure to be here with you tonight. As you know, I did the walkthroughs for your campuses and did the report for your schools. I entered my daughter's school almost 11 months ago, and it transformed my life. My daughter came to me after watching a 10-year-old girl testify on CNN. I didn't know she was watching the TV. This little girl was speaking about having to be in a classroom with a school shooter that had breached the classroom door by shooting the glass panel out of the door, unlocking the door, entering the classroom, and he murdered 19 children. She survived this event by coating herself in her best friend's blood. I don't wish to share this graphic details with you to alarm you, be graphic in any way, to be dramatic. I tell you this because this is out in the ethos in the American culture. Children are hearing this on. They come to me and say, "Dad, what happens to me? This happens in my school." I said, "I will go find out for you, my child." I went to her school and her front door was unlocked. There was no barrier, no resistance, no panic button, nothing. I said to the principal, "What happens if a shooter harm my child? What can I say to her to protect her?" The principal said this to me, "Mr. Soul, I have written letters to all levels of Congress. I have written letters to my own superintendent. Nothing. I left the meeting, obviously, very passionate. And I created a concept called the Safe Zone Solution. I left the school and I said, what do these kids need? By the way, before I left, the principal, and I will stop, I know I only have 2 minutes. The principal said this to me before I left. I said, what do these children need? She said, they need safe zones. And I said, I will go get you. I went and got an elected official and I started my journey. I want to close with this. You guys have done an incredible job at this district. I am so impressed. I want to thank Brent Berry, Mr. Nagel, all of you. You're impressive people. You have taken on the cause of school safety in a way. I have studied school shootings, thousands, hundreds of them. What you guys have done is taken accountability in a way most districts have not. Even with that, this school is vulnerable to a mass casualty event. Let me explain. Just walk through this hallway. All of the classrooms, and I'll stop. All of the classrooms here, some of them do not have a hard core. If a shooter operationalizes his weapon in this hallway, every child that gets stuck in a lockdown from the panic button that is in this building will suffer the same fate as Parkland. The children were shot in a lockdown in their classroom, following school protocols. That's not fair. It's not fair. Children deserve codification of safety measures in the same way that fire is, sprinkler is there to provide in the event of most unforeseen catastrophic event. I ask you to please consider, if you say no to this event, to doing this, if you do, ask who benefits. Say no. Who? What child in this district benefits by a charity coming to you and say, we want to give this to you for free? Who wouldn't?
Mr. Soul, thank you. We're out of time. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate it. Okay. Okay. Anyone else wish to speak? Do we have anyone online who wishes to speak? That you can- Okay, all right. Thank you so much. Student representative report. Who's going first?
Good evening, board. Hope everyone's having a good day. And I wanted to start off by talking about the staff versus student game that's happening here at PHS. And I wanted to talk about how well we've been doing in building excitement around it. I know everyone's excited about it, students, even staff is like talking a lot about this game and a lot of energy going back and forth. And I think it's going to be a good night. And it's also for a good cause for our Sparrow Giovanni. So I'm excited to see how that turns out. And following that, we'll have a dance off coming up soon. Everyone's starting practices for that, all levels, all grades, I mean. And last but not least, I wanted to congratulate all the 10 members that qualified for DECA Nationals in our chapter and our advisor. So that's all I have for you guys today.
The dance off. Can you explain more about that? Do you know, if you don't have details, that's fine, but I was just wondering if it was like the old school, like I saw on the Disney Channel back in the day, or if it was something different.
I'm not sure if that started up again last year or not, or if we've been doing this annually, but basically it's a competition between grade levels, and it might just be what you just said. It's like a 3 to 5 minute song, and each grade level just has their own choreographed dance that they're doing to it. And there's judges and a rubric and everything, and by the end we'll see, just compare performances between grade levels and everyone can get creative.
Javi, can you say when that basketball game is? I didn't hear the time or the day.
I think it's the 14th, next Thursday, yeah.
Okay.
I have a question for it too. The 10 DECA students, are you one of those 10?
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Okay. Okay. So I wanted to talk about prom, which I'm very excited for. And we figured out the theme this week. It's Garden Tea Party, which I'm really excited for, and it goes so perfect with the venue. And that's May 4th. And then I also want to talk about tennis. Girls tennis, we have 20 plus people doing it this year, which is a lot more than previous years. And last year we only had like 10, 12, and now we have 20 plus. So excited, so excited. I also want to talk about the talent show, which is another fundraiser for Giovanni. I'm not sure about the date, but I know we have auditions the 14th and the 15th of this month. So I'm very excited about that. And then we also have a Rubik's Cube tournament going on like the week before spring break, the Monday through Wednesday. So I'm very excited about that because I love solving Rubik's Cubes. So yeah, that's all I got.
Hello. Hello, I'm Garrett again. I would like to start by talking about how our track and golf seasons have started and practices have begun. And from my understanding, track is going well and golf is also proceeding well. And in fact, our first golf meet is Monday the 10th. And we are traveling down to Reading Sunday and playing the tournament Monday, which will be a lot of fun, hopefully. And I would also like to talk about our Brain Bowl that Mr. Thurian is holding. Our event is going on at SOU Saturday the 15th, and we will be competing against other schools, and hopefully we place high again this year. And I'd also, what's your name, sir? Alex. I would like to thank Mr. Soul for coming out here and giving his opinion on something, trying to do something for other communities and doing stuff for all of our students that maybe some of us are too afraid to talk about.
Okay, well done, all of you. Thank you so much. Any more questions before we move on? Good. Okay. Superintendent report, Mr. Barry.
Yeah, thank you, Chair Campbell. Yeah, well done, student reps. Thank you all for the Accentuate the Positive. And when you hear about all these amazing events happening, there's a lot of things that go on to putting all these events on, and just really want to thank our whole staff just for putting the time in to do these extra things, because there's no really have tos, it's get tos, and provide experiences for kids. So thank you to the staff. Want to thank Tiffany Lambert. Last time I was gone, she did the report and shared a positive report, and just appreciate her stepping in and the staff at that last board meeting. I had a chance to go to the National Superintendent's Conference in San Diego, and really honored our current Oregon Superintendent of the Year, Darren Drill, and then the incoming national president for the Superintendents Association is a superintendent from Beaverton, Oregon, Gustavo Balderas. So we're very fortunate in Oregon to have his leadership and his voice on the national level, and that'll really allow us to share more about how we could support public ed. So it was a good time really kind of discussing that and meeting colleagues from around the country. In your packets, you will see the out-of-state trips. One's coming up next week, so you'll see that. And then Disney Club is making its way down to Disney in March, so you'll see those out-of-state trips. Yesterday, we held our third quarter Safe Schools meeting, and just to remind you on what that is, it's a lot of our partners in law enforcement, fire department, nonprofits that really come together each quarter to talk about what's going well, what are some challenges, and Rick Nagel is a part of that, Rebecca is a part of that, and it's been going on for about 15 years to really collaborate with our community and talk about how we can best serve our students and our families. And it's well attended. We have our staff attend share some of the things that are happening in our schools as well. So thank you for everyone attended that. Last night, the Talent City Council had an agenda item to get with our school board to discuss the annexation of the Culver Road property, to discuss some what the prior uses was that on with that property, and we have a work session coming up, and I think it could be appropriate to get to the council with the council to have that discussion. I believe April 16th is when the annexation topic is going to be on the council's agenda. So we'll make sure that we extend that invitation and let you know that agenda item. And we also have our EDI annual report on that work session as well. Finally, it's been a pleasure the last couple weeks to do the State of the District, and to remind you what the State of the District is. We go around to schools to share kind of what's going well and what the future looks like for Phoenix Talent Schools, to have a discussion with staff. And those went well at each building, kind of the upcoming budget challenges and opportunities, and a chance just for staff to ask questions to district office staff. And Michael attended many of those. Sarah was at one too, and so really appreciate that support. And that's all I have. Thank you.
Great. Any questions for Brent? Okay. Next item is the consent agenda. Do I have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
I move to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
I'll second.
Thank you, Dawn. Thank you, Sarah. Any objections? Hearing none, the consent agenda is approved. Action items. We have one, teacher and administrator contracts. Brent?
Yeah, this is an annual. Can you hear me? Hello? This is an annual requirement. We're required to do the renewals by March 15th, and this is the list for annual renewals. And once approved, we will get these notices out, and staff have till April 15th to let us know on their plans to come back or not. So we'd recommend this for approval.
Thank you. I will entertain a motion.
I move to approve the teacher and administrative contracts as presented.
I'll second that.
Thank you, Polly. Thank you, Rick. Any discussion? Okay. We will vote. Rick?
Yes.
Polly?
Yes.
Dawn?
Yes.
Sarah?
Yes.
Rebecca?
Yes.
I vote yes. Motion's approved. We are scheduled for a recess, so we'll do 10 minutes and we'll be back at 6:47. an opportunity to share. We're back. No, we're right on time, actually. Yeah. All right. All right. Facilities and bond update. John, welcome. Thank you.
Good evening, board. John McCaleb, Director of Facilities. I don't have a lot to talk about today. I would like to say to everybody that left, for the celebration of all my people. I wanted to talk to you a little bit about the new inclusive restrooms at Talent Middle School that are going to happen with the seismic upgrade. I know in some circles it's been kind of controversial, and I know this was in your packets. And I'm really just here to answer any questions you might have, if you have any. It is a restroom that any gender can use. It basically is a wide open restroom with the sinks on one wall, and then the bathroom stalls are actually framed walls with solid doors and locks. So any gender could walk into the restroom. Multiple genders can. They can use the facilities in private and then wash their hands. It's been done at Three Rivers. Actually, it's been done at several districts, but Three Rivers is the closest that I know of. And it was a little bit controversial. I remember when they were first doing them, but the feedback has been super positive.
This is going down the main hallway to the gym. So that's the only bathroom that's going to be converted this way. Three Rivers converted all their middle school and high school bathrooms to this. And we met as a superintendent group last week there. And the behaviors, the discipline, there was actually students that have come to the administration to say they've never used a school bathroom before, and now they do. And they had some public comment and controversy a little bit leading in, and their superintendent had met with everybody and walked them through that were concerned about it, and there really is no concerns at this time. So we're not able to do every bathroom, but with this seismic upgrade, we thought take the opportunity to do this in a really high traffic area for this, and so excited for the design and our partnership with Outlier, who's been able to design this for us.
I have a question, of course. You can never get away without a question from me. What's the difference between whatever you called it and like an accessible bathroom? Can a child with sensory issues use the bathroom? Okay, so it's more of a accessible to all bathroom than a
Yes.
basically is what you're saying.
Yes, it has accessible restrooms with it.
Okay.
Also part of this remodel is a shower in case somebody, although it's locked, it would be a staff decision, but there's a shower there too to help. But it would be inclusive of everybody.
Okay.
We have ADA restrooms. We have 8 other restroom areas that are solid doors. So anybody can.
Perfect. Yeah, because I know that sometimes there's lots of different, trauma or in my family, some sensory issues when you're using the bathroom and there's like 100, sounds like 100 flushing toilets and the hand dryers and this and that. It can be a little overwhelming sometimes for someone that has some sensory issues. So I wanted to make sure that we had that option for those that get a little overwhelmed in the bathrooms as well.
This should actually be way better because of the framed insulated walls, solid doors. It's not like a partition that has, 16 inches below, and it's not an open concept like that.
Is there open, but open top, or is it
All the
it's
way to the ceiling.
hallway?
It's essentially like walking into a slightly oversized closet
Okay,
with a toilet in there.
okay.
And then the sinks are in front of the door. We widen the doorways. There's no door on the entrance. And there's sinks with big mirrors. So if an observer is outside, they can actually look in the mirrors and see what's going on both sides. And then it has large basin sinks, similar to what you would see at Costco or Walmart or one of those.
Okay, so you brought up Walmart. So they're gonna be better quality than the Walmart at, right? The ones that go to the floor at Walmart, right? That are always, the doors are always horrible because, right, it all shifts.
Right, those are partitions.
Okay, thank you.
And
I had a feeling if you were doing it, it was top notch, but
I was just
since it's
saying,
going.
to answer your question, I'm building it.
Okay, there you go. That's what I thought.
My
All
name
right.
will be on
Just-
this.
Okay, thank you.
I'll also share it. He's looking into, though we can't do all the other bathrooms this way, looking at doing those floor to ceiling partitions just for the stalls in other buildings to have that privacy. So, which his team will do as well.
Okay, so my question was, you said this was happening at the middle school.
Yes, ma'am.
Is there anything like this that's gonna happen at the high school, or like the floor to ceiling stall doors at the high school, or anything that you know of?
There's nothing planned at this time, but I would imagine if these are incredibly successful, that will be something that the district might look at down the road.
Just curious again, what's the overall purpose of having the separate bathroom again?
Inclusivity, so all genders, or I'm not sure how you.
I think there was
specify.
like safety issues as well, and making sure that we have privacy and dignity, because these are floor to ceiling. We can't necessarily open up all this space to do that in every bathroom, but this is really where a lot of schools are being built to have this multi single use bathroom. And so that was, we learned from Three Rivers that it really has been a benefit. We were looking for them this fall to give us some data, and it's been overwhelmingly with safety and more people utilizing this resource. Because I mean, it's horrible to me to think that somebody's not using our restrooms during the day as a student. And so, and to your point, this school was built with some single use bathrooms as well. So there's more options for, but as John was saying, that if this is successful, we can look at converting some of the others too. But good, both good questions. Thank you.
Thank you. They were good.
I was just gonna say, a couple years ago, there was that TikTok trend of taking pictures under bathroom like of people's feet. And that, who knows what's gonna be the next thing. So I appreciate you making sure that people feel safe in the bathrooms.
My personal thought is that this should cut down on the vandalism considerably from everybody I've talked to. We do have a high vandalism rate at the middle school, more so than any other school. So hoping that having more people in the room, that the standard might go up.
Are they smoke? So are you having to put like vaping sensors in if they're fully enclosed?
It's not planned at this time, but that might be something we add.
I guess I can't, how do I say this? It would be interesting to see the data after a year of what this is like. So I appreciate you giving us a heads up, and I know that you will fill us in with more data because you always do when the time is right. So I look forward to hearing more about it.
Do the families at Talent Middle School know this is coming, or is this the first, like, this is coming?
I believe this is the first. This is
Okay.
coming.
All right.
Administration knows
Okay.
for sure.
And this is happening over summer?
Over the summer.
Over the summer.
So hopefully next year when we have a board meeting at Talent Middle School, I look forward to touring the restrooms with you guys and answering questions.
I toured the walk-in at Talent Elementary. Amy's not here to know that, but I did tour the walk-in at Talent Elementary this week.
And
And
it's
I
Florida.
learned that a walk-in floor, that it's the floor in the room. I didn't know that. Anyway, there you go. That was my learn something new.
I have more of a comment, John. I know my child is going to be extremely excited about this. They are one of those people that has a hard time using the restroom when other people are in there. So I'm gonna tell them tonight about it, but he's super excited.
Awesome.
Thank you
John.
all. I appreciate it.
Appreciate it. Okay. Legislative OSBA update. I think today was the last day of the session, right?
I believe so. That's
Yeah.
what I had seen.
Okay.
And I don't know if Sarah wants to talk about, do you want to give an update of, because I don't really have much. So first of all, I was going to talk about, I don't have much about the legislative, but I'll do a little bit. OSBA is having their meeting coming up, and we're going to be talking about policies. And governance. So there's probably going to be some things that come down through here. Some of the government stuff might have to be voted from all the boards. I am on the policy committee and we're rewriting every single policy. It's so exciting. So Denise is like trembling, but I am excited. And some other good news is when we went to Washington, D.C., Nancy and I and a group, one of our platforms was IDA funding. And we talked to Senator Merkley and Wyden. And Senator Merkley now has decided to be a co-sponsor of the IDA funding bill, which is huge. So if you want to know more about the IDA funding bill, you can let me know. But basically, it never got fully funded. Shocker. And there's a plan to move it up a certain percentage each year. And I don't think it will be funded until 2030. It's quite a while. It's like 20 years plan of funding IDA, which is for students with disabilities and special needs. Right now, I can't remember what the percentage of funding is, but it's really way below. I think it's like 30% of what schools need. So that's really exciting. The legislation thing has been going really fast. I can barely keep track of what's going on. But OSBA will be sending out probably end of next week, beginning of the week after, a breakdown of what passed and how that will affect us. I know that summer school funding was there, even though it's cut a bit. And a lot bit. School funding was not a priority this legislative session. It just wasn't. A lot of things were discussed, and hopefully things will come back the next legislative session, and we can have some good discussions. I know and OSBA themselves is gearing up and starting to get ready for that, because we know it's going to be a big fight, and there's a lot of things that need changing. So I encourage you to look at your emails, and if you have any questions, you can ask Sarah and I. And Sarah, did I forget anything major?
The only thing I want to just remind our board is that our Phoenix Talent School District qualifies as a rural school. So there's opportunity to be part of the Rural Schools Caucus for OSBA and to really come together to support initiatives and elevate that voice. And it happened in January, and then leadership vote for that caucus happened really quickly, and they've been meeting, and so it's March, and it's like I would like to encourage all of us to sign up to at least be aware of what's happening in the rural caucus for OSBA. So there was an email that went out. I don't know about you guys, but I get a lot of ed related emails, and sometimes I'm better about sifting through them. But there was a recent one within the last couple of days that had a form for us to sign up to be
to get information of when they're meeting. So I would just encourage all of us to try to be part of that voice.
We can have Denise get signed up for that and maybe even send out some reminders, because I don't get those emails either, and I'm not sure when the next meeting is, but we'll help. I think we can get on that list, and she can just make sure and forward it to everybody.
The next meeting is the 19th. I get a yes, March 19th. And I think this is only the second meeting. I think they're only going to meet so many. I forgot. I got an email about the meetings. They're only going to meet so many. They're not meeting every month. I think it's like a couple times and kind of catching up on stuff. So if you didn't come to the first meeting, it's not like it was just like mostly right. We did vote for officers and voted in the bylaws and that kind of stuff. And I will do a better job of keeping you informed, because I do. No, but I'm just saying I somehow get them. I know how I get them because I was on the original board that founded it, but I get them, and so I'll try to do better. But yeah, I think that's important to do the rural schools. And this National School Board Association is dedicating one day for rural schools, which is really good. And Javier is coming with us. So any questions?
No questions, but thank you once again for keeping us informed and involved during another furious, short legislative session. So thank you. Okay, equity, diversity, and inclusion update.
Yeah, I'll just let you know that, and I mentioned it before, that they will have the annual EDI report at the next work session, and Kelly and our team are working on that. And so look forward to hearing the progress being made and sharing some data as well. So that'll be next work session.
Great. We look forward to that. 24-25 academic calendar. Brent?
Yeah, in your package, you have a draft calendar for review, just some highlights. This calendar is similar in some ways to our current calendar. We do have 2 additional in-service days that we are utilizing for professional development and training. Typically, our in-service days are a 5-day week, but we have this will be the 3rd year in a row that we're doing 7 to really maximize our training and our PD in preparation for the year. I kind of think I said this last year, but this will be our last year probably having 7 in-service days. We'll go back to a 5-day week. This is a 170-day student contact, 190-day schedule, or a schedule for our licensed staff by contract. And then just some highlights are the Tuesday after Labor Day. We typically have kind of a soft start with elementary, and then new 6th graders, the middle school, and new 9th graders. This calendar represents a full day start, just really jumping in to that day. And there are reasons for that, and I shared this at the state of the district, is we're anticipating summer school funding, though they cut it 40%, and you have to qualify as a district to even get that. But I think that we have funding sources to actually do all the summer school that we want to in those 6th grade Bulldog camps, incoming 9th grade pirate camps, through some other funding sources. Not that we didn't trust the legislature to give us summer school money, but we did set aside some funds. We anticipate that those potentially could be a 2-week kind of transition time for incoming 6th grade and incoming 9th grade. When we were able to do the incoming 9th grade pirate camp several years ago, remember when we got that influx of summer school money, we were able to give credit to a quarter credit towards their high school graduation, and that was very successful, and we're hoping to do that as well, and really design those transitions to be very intentional. And so that first day, our new students would be already familiar with the campuses. It's always felt that soft start, and then Wednesdays we have early release. So that was kind of and then that week's kind of already done. So it'll be different for us. So we'll see how that goes this year, and see if it's something we want to continue.
I have something about that.
Yeah.
For the link crew, usually they are here with them. I don't know how that it would impact, or if Carolina's been consulted. I'm going to speak up for her. You don't have to. But I feel like that for me is so critical for those incoming freshmen to make those connections. And I don't know how that would.
Absolutely. So we have a meeting with the link crew advisor and the team that kind of puts that on to see how they could be a part of that initial pirate camp potentially. And then there may be some specific scheduling opportunities that first Tuesday anyway, in that. So those details are to be worked out. But I think we can come up with a plan that'll work. So it also this schedule ended in June a little funny. There was, if we just did 190 days, that meant we would come back with students on a Monday and end with staff on a Tuesday. So we decided to say, let's push it back to like we're doing this year. Monday is a full day, Tuesday is a minimum day, Wednesday is the last day with staff. So we needed to find a day in this calendar to just have a non-contract day with staff and students. And so you'll see in May that Friday before Memorial Day weekend, which is not the best attended day by students or staff for that matter, that'll be a non-contract day. Those are really just the differences. You'll see the winter break starts a little later, and we come back on the 6th, which we seem to be coming back on the 2nd or right. Kind of, we've had 2 weeks in one day. It's been funny, but that's just a traditional 2-week break now. I'll answer any questions, or if you have questions before it's on for action next. It won't be on for action actually until April, because the next meetings are work sessions. So be happy to answer them.
Okay. Any more questions? All right. Okay, next is Safe Zone Solution report that we received. I think I don't normally do this, but I think I'd just like to kick things off if I might. First of all, I want to thank you, Alex, and all of you who came and spoke, and thank you for your heart and your passion, and your effort towards finding solutions to keep our kids safe. That is our number one job and responsibility as school leaders, is to keep our kids safe first and foremost. So I see your heart and passion, and it's one we all share. So thank you for that. I also understand the urgency. We all watch the news every day. And we want more safety measures in place for our kids. The amount of school shootings that happen are horrific. And as they happen, many times a year, we find ourselves asking, how do we stop this? I understand the urgency and the passion, because it's one we share. I own a business, a private business, and then I also serve in this volunteer capacity. And if I want to do something in my business, I can just do it tomorrow. I can decide to do it, and I make it happen. The wheels of government turn a little bit more slowly than that. I always try to take opportunities to share this as much as I can, because not everyone understands this, but the state education budget does not provide us money for facilities. We do not. The money that we get through the budget, through the state school fund, is for instruction only. And the reason we have this beautiful school, and the reason we're able to talk about the updates that we're doing to our other schools and the updates that we've already done, is because our community supported the school district by passing the $68 million bond. So thank you again to our community. And it's a real struggle in public education that funding for facilities is not something that's provided. We have to fundraise ourselves for that. I think the product and the solution is really compelling. I do. And I also think there's a lot of things that need to be ironed out. I just want to clarify where we're at in the process, because I think a lot of times, we have items on for information and discussion, and then the expectation is that there's some kind of action that's going to be taken. We're not taking any action tonight on this matter. We're just discussing it because, I think just to speak to the origin of all of this, I think you and Rebecca got to see a presentation of the film itself and the product, right? And kind of got connected that way.
Rebecca, you saw it.
Right. Yeah. Okay. So then you all met Alex, and we invited Alex to come and present before us. To be honest, my understanding was that we had no idea what it costs, right? So we were looking for some kind of estimate of the scale. And so perhaps there was some miscommunication. I think perhaps you were under the impression that you are presenting us with a proposal to consider, when really we're trying to answer the question of what would this even look like and how much would it cost at the various options. And so I want to just take responsibility and apologize if there's any misunderstanding about, what's happening tonight or what our intentions were or how we arrived where we are today. Because I think maybe we could have had some conversations along the way just to make sure we're on the same page. And I do think some of those conversations happened as well. I have some major considerations about where we're at. Number one, we don't have $6 million. And I know you've mentioned, it's been mentioned before, that, once you get a school district to sign on, it'll be free to us. I'm not getting that from the report that we received. It still feels very vague to me. It mentions some of the sources that you might try to procure, but my concern is we wouldn't want to sign an agreement and then not be able to have the funds and then be on the hook to pay the however many millions of dollars. So that's an issue. I do believe there's an issue with competitive bidding, because from what I understand about your organization, Alex, and the way it's all configured is you kind of have a relationship with this one particular vendor. We would need, if we were to consider something of this scale and magnitude, we would have to put that out for a competitive bidding process. And so I don't know that we could even enter into an agreement with your organization, understanding that you have the relationship with the one vendor. We would have to go up, because there are a lot of vendors who provide this product or a similar product. So yeah, and I think, and I appreciate that. I think this board, our tradition and history has been to do competitive bidding things for, items of that scale. So, I think that's an issue. The other thing is, I just don't know. I don't know enough and haven't heard enough from safety experts. And I know that you certainly are well versed in school shootings. You've done a lot of study. I would like to hear from our county officials. I'd like to hear from, there are a number of safety committees and experts in this field that we just haven't heard from to understand all the implications. I was talking to an administrator today, and for instance, sometimes you want people to be able to break a window to get out. And what are the implications of something that would of a film that might prevent that from happening and then create a reverse safety issue of not being able to escape the building. So there's just a lot still that needs to be figured out. And so my belief at this point is if the board is interested in exploring something like this product, I think we could do that. I just do not believe we're in a position to enter in any sort of agreement with a specific organization at this time. So for the reasons that I shared. Any other thoughts?
Yeah,
Rick?
I would like to, is this coming through? I just want to thank Alex for bringing this to us. And I've happened to know, I've known Alex for a number of years, and I respect the heck out of him. He's an honorable person. He's very passionate about this issue, and but he's intelligent. He's done his research. I think the world of you, Alex. You're a good person. I just where we are right now, just not quite ready to really make a decision on this. As our chairperson outlined to you, there are other people we have to consult, and we have to investigate other options, and this is a huge undertaking. And again, thank you for offering to do this. So I think I will say this, I personally like the safe zone solution. Alex presented it to me, and I immediately got interested in it because it's a great concept. The glass that they cannot penetrate, and then the doors which lock, and it gives the kids a safe zone. As far as getting out, that's a good question about getting out, but I did go to a demonstration, not with the company he has consulted, but with another company. And I watched, it was out here at our county firing range. And they show in it, they offered the sale of glass. And what it was a coating on the inside of the glass that the bullet, and I watched the demonstration, the bullet would not penetrate. Yeah, and we had people go up with a baseball bat and they couldn't crash through it with that. However, on the other side, when you turn it around, you could shoot out. So like an SRO could do that. And if somebody wanted to get out, they could break that glass from that central thing. They could get out the window. So, but again, thanks for bringing it to us, Alex, but I guess we're not quite ready yet.
Yeah. Just to add to that, I didn't know this existed. So, I think one thing you're doing is bringing a lot of awareness. And I also think we were talking about it today. If I think this should probably be a requirement of any new school that's built in this country, kind of like any new car has to have backup cameras, right? And so, yeah, I think that's the big thing is awareness that a solution exists. I think is huge. So, I'm very appreciative for that. Do you have anything? Please.
Sorry. I just want to say I think as a student, something like this is so important to me. Oh my God, I told myself I wouldn't cry. Sorry, I'm a very highly emotional person. But the other day when we had the situation around the school where we were locked in, it wasn't anything that serious, but the first person I texted was my sister. because she goes to school here too. And my number one thing is her safety. So I think that something like this, even after I graduate, is so important for us students. Because I'll be in the hallway and it's terrible to think, but I'm like, what would happen if there's a school shooting right now? Where would I run to? What classroom? What teacher do I feel comfortable with? It's a terrible thing to think about as a student. So even if this isn't the thing that is right for the school, I do think there should be precautions to prevent school shootings. And the school has done amazing things. But I think we definitely could take it a step further coming from a student perspective. Because after like I would go into I would watch like news videos about the Parkland shooting, and it's just so scary to think about that could happen at our school. So I just think as a student, this is something that even if it doesn't happen this year, but I think it's something that needs to happen.
Thank you for sharing that. Appreciate it. Garrett?
Something I'd also like to talk about is, yeah, $6 million is a lot. But I feel like we should try to do something where it's not $6 million at once. You do try to do the most you can with what you have and then go on from there. So we're not $6 million, get it all done. We should go step by step in improving what we can do with what we have, making obviously our schools safer in a reasonable way.
Thank you. Well said. Appreciate it. Thank you. Any other thoughts? Yes. Right. Okay. Yeah. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. Okay, last item is superintendent contract. So we are in talks to keep our superintendent around for a little while longer, to put it very simply. And so we hope to have something to present to you at our April meeting to take official action on that. So that's pretty much it. Anything that I missed, Brent, that I was supposed to talk? Okay, all right. The next meeting agenda is not in your packet. So just to remind you, we have an executive session on the 21st or a work session. We will have an executive session before the work session too. So
Yeah, and it wasn't in the packet because we were going to talk about the talent council, but we'll extend that invitation and we'll have the EDI and the talent council.
Great.
Probably in that order as well.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much. We are adjourned.